County High School Football Coaches Show with Dickson County Head Coach Jeff Tomlinson and Dickson Post Sports reporter Casey Patrick. The Dickson County Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Pamela Witt First Lending Solutions, where your dreams find the perfect mortgage match. Lee Canifax with Health Markets Insurance, your local Medicare specialist, voted #1 for health insurance. Steve Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, a truly enjoyable car buying experience, voted the #1 auto dealership in Dickson County. Tim Sutherland with Rolling Hills Realty, where trust meets expertise, navigating the real estate market with confidence and unlocking your home dream. Preston Thompson's Carpet Shop, where all your flooring and paint needs since 1970, voted #1 in Dickson County. And the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now, here are Coach Jeff Tomlinson and Casey Patrick.
Hello and welcome to the Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show. I'm Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Jeff Tomlinson.
Hello.
Coach, Friday night, 31-12 win over Kenwood. Your running game was really good. Your defense was really good. Special teams had 2 blocked punts. How exactly close? Now, I know we talked after the game. You said it wasn't perfect, but how close to really good was that?
It was a very balanced, very good football game. The rushing attack was very balanced. When we looked at it back and rewatched the film, Frazier ended up with, I think he had 87 yards, and then Malachi was at 89, and then Elijah Fernandez had 76. So we was over 300 yards total of about 7 or 8 different guys carrying the football. Timely passes that were good. So offensively, we played well. Defensively, we really did a good job of containing their quarterback, who's got a strong arm and a big arm. And special teams wise, coming up with actually a blocked field goal too, or a blocked PAT, and 2 blocked punts. So yeah, it was a very well-rounded game for us Friday night.
Well, and we're going to talk about the offense. We're going to talk, and I wrote down sharing the wealth with your offense. So I had the same idea, but those blocked punts, y'all had to see something, right? Because Elijah just come flying off that corner.
Yeah, we Coach Hall and Coach DeMonte kind of enjoy being the guys. They really work on that our punt block team, and they scheme up things and really work on that every week, and we practice it every week, and they do a good job. I joke with them a little bit about it, but but they do a really good job. They take pride in getting, every snap counts. It doesn't matter whether that snap's a PAT or a offensive, defensive, 3rd and 4th down play. But every one of them's big, and you can really turn a game around whenever you make a play like that.
For sure. And one of the other things too that I saw with the ground game that you had, of course, if you don't have to pass it, you don't really need to. But you only threw 7 passes, and a few of those were from Ray Dotson right before half, just trying to get into better spots.
Yep.
Is that kind of the way you think? If you don't have to put it in there, you're not going to?
Yeah, but if you look, it's exactly perfect to what we did Friday night. We ran the ball so well that we threw it a couple of times early, and we just missed. But they were wide open, and they were touchdowns. Mm-hmm. And we just missed on them. But that's what it looks. That's what it's supposed to look like. And what we try to do offensively is we want to lull you to sleep in the running game, and then just take one over the top. And like I said, one was called back for a penalty, and there was 2 others that we should have had touchdown zone that we just dropped, or the ball's just slightly overthrown.
Okay, now one of the other things too, I know that Wyatt Gramling went down with an injury Friday, and we still may not have an idea on him or want to speculate, but do you like the opportunity for maybe Ray or DeMarcus to come in here and see what they can do with some of those passes? I
do. We're not going to change our plan and our philosophy or our game plan for a Ray or a DeMarcus. We're going to do it the way that we're building it, and that's through a strong running game, controlling the line of scrimmage, and taking our shots whenever we get an opportunity. That's not to say that we won't play to their strengths a little bit and maybe be able to tweak some things, but it's not going to be an overall change for a different quarterback.
Okay, now a little bit back to that running game too. The 3-headed monster, we all kind of know Malachi and Elijah and Michaela are really, really good at what they do. But you did get an opportunity to get some other guys some carries, right, and you brought that up already. But how important is that, not only just for this season, but the future of the program?
That's the whole purpose of it is, building a program to plug and play. And that means, when you always hear those terms of rebuilding, you don't want to rebuild, you want to reload. And in order to get those guys key reps on Friday nights, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 reps, you're reloading. I mean, Ben Singleton, freshman quarterback, got the last snap of the game, and I was bumping my fist over there on the sidelines whenever I saw that we had 12 seconds left and he was going to get to at least run one play. Just to get those guys just that little bit of work on a varsity Friday night really helps.
Well, it's got to be good for their for them too and their confidence, right? I mean, because the Monday night games are great and everything, but to finally get out there on Friday night and show it off.
Just the atmosphere is totally different. I mean, Monday's great and you get plenty of live action reps against another opponent, but it's not like a Friday night. I mean, just the atmosphere is totally different, and you can only experience it. You can't. You can only experience it by going through it. You can't do it from the sidelines.
Okay, and your offensive line, again, I felt like they did a pretty good job of opening up some holes for you guys. Just to give me some names for your guys up front. It's been a lot of the same names you said already.
Yeah, it's the same guys. I think Weston Blackwell's done a really good job at center over the last, over the entire year, but really over the last few weeks. He does a good job right there in the middle. And then of course our 2 guards, or really 3 guards, when J-Mac and Jordan Macklin and Willie Rosales, and then of course Trevor Ashworth. J-Mac and Willie kind of rotate that spot. They do a really good job of the point of attack, because they're our point of attack in our option game, and they've got to really get that guy out of there, that defensive tackle. He's got to get him moved and get him on roller skates so that option game will work. And we've really seen our option game really pick up lately.
All right. Well, don't go anywhere. We are going to go to our first break. When we get back, we're going to talk about the defense, which was I thought really electric on Friday night, but especially the front. Those guys up front were in Jacoby Cox's face basically all night. But like I said, please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk about some defense.
Nothing updates your home like new flooring, and we have it all. Carpet, LVP, wood, vinyl, and tile, along with professional installation, warranties, and friendly advice. Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 flooring store in Dickson County.
Looking for a mortgage loan? Look no further than First Lending Solutions. We make getting a mortgage easy, with no hidden fees and no surprises. We work for you, not the bank, so you can trust us to have your best interests at heart. Get pre-approved in minutes and enjoy a seamless, stress-free experience. Apply online or call us today.
Steve Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, voted #1 auto dealer in Dickson County, a truly enjoyable car buying experience. Friendly customer service and a great selection of vehicles. Visit us today.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
If your paint project calls for bold and vibrant neutrals or soft pastels, Benjamin Moore has the design-inspired colors you've been looking for in a full line of durable, long-lasting paints. And they're all here at Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 paint store in Dickson County.
Welcome back to the Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show. I'm Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Tomlinson. Coach, I just talked about it. Your defensive line, I thought they were really good. Your front seven was good, and I felt like your defensive backs were good too, but your guys up front really created a lot of problems.
Yeah, we did. And, we played some stunt games up front, and so we were able to get loose a little bit. The good part about it, when you stunt and you blitz, you sometimes will tend to lose a gap integrity and lose contain and allow the quarterback to scramble and get out and pick up yards with his legs. But we did a really good job of keeping him contained in our stunt packages, and was able to keep him bottled up for the most part, forcing him to throw the ball away or take a short scramble where we maybe even get the sack or a short gain. There's only a couple of times that he actually got out and picked up a first down with his legs. So, yeah, they did a really good job.
Yeah, and his Jacoby Cox, I mean, his athleticism was on full display Friday night. He was running a lot for his life, and but your defense did a really good job of slowing him down. And Eli Andrews was a name that came up plenty on Friday night. Who else was able to really?
Well, Eli's got a motor, and he runs,
Yeah.
and he only has one gear, and again, he sometimes would catch his lose and contain, and we would have to say, hey, remember, you got to make sure we bottle him inside. You can't lose. But he did a good job most of the night. I felt like our outside guys, LaDainian Walker did a really good job on the other side, and then Peyton Overton on the opposite end of on the opposite side, on the weak side, were really did a good job of keeping the stuff contained inside, whether it's the run or the scramble. They turned it back into our inside linebackers and did a really good job.
Well, and also when you face one of those one of the quarterbacks that they have a little bit more of a passing offense, you can kind of get back to that controlled chaos, can't you? And,
oh yeah.
And you had guys really moving around on the line. How fun is that to watch your guys really, again? And I've asked this question multiple times, but I can't help myself. How fun is it to watch these guys take that controlled chaos and run with it?
It's fun. They love it. They love it too. When we're bringing a lot of stunts and blitzes and we're coming from all different angles, and it's never the same way twice. Mm-hmm. And the kids they enjoy it. They take pride in it, and they have fun doing it.
Well, and how has your defense improved? Not just, physically, these guys, they work real hard all year long and try to compete. But mentally, how has your defense improved, especially being able to understand their role?
Yeah, that's we're still working on that. We talk about playing as a group of an 11, and then sometimes it's not made for a defensive lineman or even a linebacker for that matter to make a tackle. He's supposed to occupy a couple of offensive linemen and force a play to bounce or force a play to misdirect and move it to another linebacker. So we're still learning those things, but the biggest thing is we're not having to think near as much now in year two as we did in our previous. So it's more of a reactionary thing. They're more accustomed to it, and they can play a lot faster.
Is that something is it just something that comes with time and experience and working together?
Yeah, it is. Not just working together, but just, like I said, the scheme itself. This is just year two under this defensive scheme, and just learning the terminology and understanding gaps and what type of gap integrity that you have on not just certain blitz packages and or stunts, but different formations that the offense gives you changes my responsibility. And so, just to be able to pick up that and learn all that, it's guys, people think, football's just, blocking and tackling, and in reality it is, but there is a lot to
who you got to block.
What the scheme is, both offensively and defensively, and at the high school level, you're asking a lot of these kids to learn both the offensive and defensive scheme, so they're having to learn both sides of the ball. And it's a lot more than just 4 plays.
Mm-hmm. Are you seeing more of these players take that responsibility? Are you seeing more of them take it serious and take it just more to heart as far as their responsibility to the team?
Oh yeah, they definitely take pride in their position and what they're doing. And Luke Markham's one that really I really enjoy watching him out at practice and then perform and execute in the game because he's got it. He knows what everybody's supposed to do on every play of the defense, and he's kind of that quarterback out there for our defense and gets us lined up and makes the calls from the secondary to get our secondary in the right coverage and so he's done a really good job and takes pride in being that guy defensively.
Well, Coach, anybody can look at a record and they can see that the record is better. And of course, I think your team has gotten better over the last few years. I know that you believe that as well. These kids, they're truly starting to believe that too now, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, they are. They're seeing it. They're enjoying it. They're like, they know that they're a better football team. They know that they're getting better every week. And you can see their confidence level is just building and building. So that's awesome to see.
Well, and that's good for any young man, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter football, baseball, chess team. It doesn't really matter. That's good for all of them. So we're going to go to our next break. And when we get back, I'm going to ask a little bit about Yellowstone.
All right.
Because I told you how much I loved it, but we're going to talk about the break and maybe start a little bit talking about West Creek, because that's a big game coming up for you guys. So we're going to go to a break real quick and make sure y'all come right back.
If you're looking to buy or sell in Dickson County, Tennessee, call Tim Sutherland at Rolling Hills Realty. As a seasoned realtor, Tim knows how to get you the best price for your home. Selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you'll make, so trust the expert. Call Tim Sutherland today at 615-720-1568 or visit rollinghillsrealtydixon.com.
Looking for a mortgage loan? Look no further than First Lending Solutions. We make getting a mortgage easy with no hidden fees and no surprises. We work for you, not the bank, so you can trust us to have your best interests at heart. Get pre-approved in minutes and enjoy a seamless, stress-free experience. Apply online or call us today.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
He shoots, and he scores!
Welcome back to the Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show. I'm Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Jeff Tomlinson.
How we doing?
Coach, I just brought it up, Yellowstone. I loved it when I was a kid. I haven't been there in a long time. You were just on break. How much did you enjoy?
Yeah, well, first of all, when we get 2 weeks of fall break around here and we're a bye on that first week, and kids are, they've been working hard since June and July, and they need a break from it too. So I think that, just getting away from the game for 3 or 4 days. We played the JV game on Monday and then let the rest of the week off. And I think it's good for them to get away from it and just, enjoy their fall break just like any other student. And of course, we got to go back to work the second week, but at least get that first week off. So we took a little opportunity, and me and Coach Dog went to the Yellowstone, and man, it was a pretty place. It's you can't describe it. You can't even, pictures don't do it justice. Nope. You just got to see it. And those mountains, the Grand Tetons. I thought Yellowstone was pretty, but the Grand Tetons are amazing. Mm-hmm. And so, it was fun. All the animals and different things. We had a good time.
Did you fly out there or did you drive?
We flew into Bozeman and drove about 1,000 miles over the week in a rental car. So we flew into Bozeman and drove down into Yellowstone. And the craziest thing is I think it's Grinder, Montana, which is right there where the north end of the Yellowstone entrance to the camp, and we're driving in, and it's a little town about the size of McEwen, and there's elk standing in the parking lots of the, grocery store and on the sidewalks and they're just standing everywhere. And I'm like, good grief, they're just walking around town like they own the place. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And then we stayed in West Yellowstone, Montana the first night, and then drove on down into Jackson Hole and spent the rest of the week. But we drove through the Grand Tetons a bunch, saw moose and bear and of course all kind of elk and buffalo and just all kinds of things, bison, whatever we call them. Yeah. One day we drove out into Idaho and just went to a waterfall just to see the Idaho country, and it's just basically the same thing. Yeah. It's really pretty
Idaho's
too.
Beautiful.
And and then the last day we drove back up through Yellowstone on our way back to the airport, and we went through the east side of Yellowstone then because we hadn't been to that side yet, where it was like, we was going up the side of hills, and it was a straight drop off 1,000 feet down, and there's no guardrail, and I'm sitting over going, oh gosh.
Yeah.
And, Coach Doggs, he's trying to look off the hillside and drive at the same time, and I'm yelling at him to get back on the road, and so it was.
I don't know to get in the car with Coach anymore.
Yeah, right. It was crazy. He says, I'm just trying to look too, So, but it was a good time. We had a great trip, and I will go back. It's really awesome.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Coach. I'd been out there a few times when I was a young kid, but of course we took a minivan with my grandfather, and it would have been a lot more fun on a plane. I can tell you that. But whenever you got back from your break, or whenever you got back from Yellowstone and you got back to work with the team, it's I know you needed the break, and it's good for everybody, but it's good to be back too, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you come back rejuvenated and refreshed. You're ready to get back to work. You're ready to, get back to football, because that's what we do, And my wife jokes about it. I mean, she knows we've been, married 20-something years, 27 years or whatever it is now. She don't read it or see this, because
I hope so.
She'll be fussing at me for not
cut
remembering
through
it.
that part.
But she, she knows that's what I do. I mean, it's 24/7, especially during football season, and not just with high school, but college and NFL and all of it. I mean, that's part of what we do, and I can't just erase it from me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just it's ingrained in me. So that's what we do.
Were the kids rejuvenated too? I mean, you said they needed their week off.
We had the best week of practice last week that we've had in a long time. They were excited. I know the weather was nice, and we were practicing in the evening, and they didn't have to go to school all day, so they slept in and wasn't tired from being in English and math class and all that. Which I understand they need that. It is important, and we're going to get back to that next week. But not having it last week really had a lot of excitement in practice. They enjoyed a lot. We had a good time last week in practice.
Well, that's good. That's good. Now, one other thing real quick, too. Of course, I heard a little bit of the football talk when I walked in here. Did you see anything maybe from earlier today or from the weekend that you like football-wise?
Nothing scheme-wise. I didn't really paint. I mean, I watched the entire Tennessee game and really loved the way they run the football yesterday. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. And enjoyed watching that. I didn't watch the Titans this morning. I was at church, so I did catch the end of it right at the end, after church was over. But but if the game's on, I'm watching it. Like I said, we watched Oregon and Washington yesterday. The end of it after the Vols game, and it was really good. And then watched Notre Dame play. And
they pushed
and
them
USC,
around a little bit more
than
than I expected.
Yeah, which was impressive. I wasn't expecting that. So it's always fun to watch football on Saturdays and Sundays.
For sure. I probably should have went to church this morning instead of watching the Titans game. But either way, we're going to take our last break. When we get back, we're going to talk about West Creek. Like I already said, it's a huge game, important game.
Yeah,
for you guys.
absolutely.
So make sure y'all don't go anywhere. We're going to preview the Coyotes whenever we get right back.
Nothing updates your home like new flooring, and we have it all. Carpet, LVP, wood, vinyl, and tile, along with professional installation, warranties, and friendly advice. Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 flooring store in Dickson County.
Steve Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, voted #1 auto dealer in Dickson County. A truly enjoyable car buying experience. Friendly customer service and a great selection of vehicles. Visit us today.
If you're looking to buy or sell in Dickson County, Tennessee, call Tim Sutherland at Rolling Hills Realty. As a seasoned realtor, Tim knows how to get you the best price for your home. Selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you'll make, so trust the expert. Call Tim Sutherland today at 615-720-1568 or visit rollinghillsrealtydixon.com.
Watch it! Did that guy even see that girl on her bike?
Just like looking for other cars before switching lanes, drivers should keep their eyes out for those traveling on bikes. When a crash occurs between a vehicle and a bike, it's the cyclist who is most likely to be injured. Give cyclists room and do not pass too closely. Riders have the same rights and responsibilities as those behind the wheel.
Be aware, be alert. Brought to you by THSO, the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Steve Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, a truly enjoyable car buying experience. Come see why we were voted #1 auto dealer in Dickson County. Visit SteveJonesAuto.com.
If your paint project calls for bold and vibrant neutrals or soft pastels, Benjamin Moore has the design-inspired colors you've been looking for in a full line of durable, long-lasting paints. And they're all here at Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 paint store in Dickson County.
Welcome back to Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show. I'm Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Tomlinson. Coach, West Creek, they're only 3-5, but they've had the same kind of losses to Rossview and Clarksville that you guys have, and they have the same kind of win like over North. I think Northwest. Are they a close matchup?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's almost even matchup. You know, and you don't like to compare scores, but like you said, they lost to Rossview and Clarksville, and we lost to Rossview and Clarksville, and just our last opponent, Kenwood. They beat Kenwood like 28-7, and we beat them 31-12. So it's very similar scores there too. I think our teams are built a lot alike. They have a good core of guys that are fairly experienced up front in the offensive defensive lines, and then they got some skill guys that can really they got more than one, and they do a good job of mixing it up and giving everybody a little bit of a hand in what they're doing. Their Coach Rob, he does a great job. Gallowitz, he does a great job with them. He's very organized, and they will be well prepared. He's been there 3 years. This is his third year now, maybe, or is it second or third? I want to say it's his third year, so he's a year ahead of me here, being at Dickson. But he's really building a program there that I think is going to be a very respectful program. And not that it isn't already, but it's going to be even more respectful once he gets it, get established in the way he needs everything. How it takes 3, 4, 5 years to do, and for sure, it's on his way.
What do you think their offense is going to look like, and what are you going to have to do to try and slow them down?
Well, they're predominantly a run football team. They will throw the football. Their quarterback does have the capabilities, and they got a couple of receivers that do a good job for them. But they like to attack you in the running game just like we do. They play with a fullback / what we call a sniffer back that he'll line up offset, behind the guard, and they'll pull him and use him for misdirection plays, and they're in the gun primarily. Number 20 running back for him does a really good job with being in the backfield. And then it's Six played quarterback a little bit early in the year, and he still has the capability of doing that, but he's their slot guy that they can send in motion and, get the ball to the outside and those types of things. So, offensively, they're more of a shotgun spread team, but they run the ball pretty good.
Now, how close is it between a shotgun team and more of an under center team? I mean, do you still have the same kind of keys that you're looking for as far as the run game goes? And
for defensively for us, yes. Yeah. It's we're not really concerned where the quarterback is, to be honest with you. I mean, most people think if you're in the gun, you're throwing it, and that's not necessarily the case. Not anymore, for sure. But our keys are defensively. We're looking for people like the guards pulling. And we're looking for what we call a high hat, low hat system from the offensive lineman, because if we see hats pop up high, we know that's our pass reads versus a low hat where they look like they're coming off the ball and coming toward you as a linebacker or a defensive end per se. Then that tells us that we have a run read or a read that they're running the football, and we can attack accordingly. Because our defensive line, we don't want them upfield. You don't want to pass rush every play. You gotta play the run and react to the pass. So they have to, by those first couple of steps, they got to be able to read that offensive lineman's pass set and or run set to know what hit and how to react to it.
It gets back to being in those lanes, right? And the integrity that you bring up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, offensively for you guys, I know a lot of it's going to be about running the ball and trying to block well and hit open lanes. But do you kind of have an idea what their defense is going to try and do, and do you have an idea what you'd like to do to beat it?
Yeah, I think we do. We were in here just meeting on it earlier, and we got a game plan together, and we do want to be balanced. We want to be balanced not just in running the football with multiple people like we did last Friday night, and that way you can't key on one runner. But we want to be able to throw the football and when we need to, and be able to execute in the passing game and make sure that you're going to have to honor our passing game. So we got a pretty good game plan together. They're in an odd front defense. They run a lot like us. They do the same thing that we do in terms of, they want to stuff it inside and try to get you to bounce it and then rally to it on the outside and use your speed to rally to it. So it'll be a good, it's going to be a good football game.
All righty. And last question, Coach. You know it. I'm sure your guys know it. Big playoff implications. What your kids? I mean, have they said anything about the playoffs yet? And they got to know.
They know, and we've talked about it, and we talk about making the playoffs first time in 10 years, and all those things. But they're not talking about it just yet. I don't know if they don't want to jinx it, or if they just don't understand yet. Because they haven't been to a playoff game themselves. But they, we'll bring it up and I'll mention it, but they haven't really said a whole lot. And I think it's more of they don't want to jinx anything, and they just want to, make sure that they take care of business Friday night before they worry about playoffs or anything like that. And we did mention that last week at Kenwood game. I said, look, guys, we don't care what's happened past and what's in the front of us. All we're worried about is what's happening tonight and today. And we got to be 1-0 this week, and then next week we got to be 1-0 next week. So all we're worried about this coming week with West Creek is being 1-0 at the end of the week.
Worried about the task at hand. Well, good luck, Coach. It's going to be a big matchup on the road at West Creek.
It will.
Good luck, Coach, like I said, and thank y'all for watching.
It'll be fun times.
Yes, sir.
Go
and
Cougars.
There we go. Y'all have a good evening.
You've been watching the Dickson County High School Coaches Show with Dickson County head coach Jeff Tomlinson and Dickson Post sports reporter Casey Patrick. Join us each week at this time on Main Street Media TV to get the latest on Dickson County football. The Dickson County Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Pamela Witt, First Lending Solutions, Lee Canifax with Health Markets Insurance, Steve Jones, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Tim Sutherland with Rolling Hills Realty, Preston Thompson's Carpet Shop, and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.